Hi guys and welcome back to our channel. Today we will be analyzing Bitcoin and Ripple against US dollar. We will be evaluating where they might move using cycles and our proprietary indicators. And we will be also re-evaluating our predictions made early in summer 2020. If you want us to keep releasing technical analysis for free, you might want to join our YouTube channel, and if you want to receive more detailed analysis with the price action, price targets, and the best assets for the week and the upcoming months, you might want to join our growing Patreon community. You will find 2 tiers, and you will find the link in the description field. You will have also the chance to receive personalized one-to-one section. So let's start with Bitcoin against US dollar on a daily basis. As you can see here in the upper section, we see the naked price enveloped inside two triangular moving averages, which are actually two envelopes, while beneath we see the Magnus cycles and the stochastic RSI, where I've changed the parameters based on the cyclicity that I found for Bitcoin. Of course, I'm not going to share with you the parameters for the stochastic RSI, because if you want to receive those parameters, you need to contact us and be in one of our Patreon. So what we see here actually is that even after having broken above the 11,000 US dollar, we have experienced a huge run up. But now let's for now for an instant focalize to what the stochastic RSI is telling us in terms of cycles. So let's evaluate how the stochastic RSI worked based on not the default parameter, but those parameters that I found to be working based on the historical cycle for Bitcoin. Let's remind that this one is a daily chart, okay? So what we want to do actually is to trade once both the two lines have actually broken above the upper band, or and then we cross below the upper band, or when the two lines have crossed below the lower band to then cross above. So we skip this kind of signal inside actually the two bands, the two thresholds, and the reason is because those kind of signal normally they give us a minor movement. So what we do is to actually to trade this kind of movement. So 1, 2, 3. This one will be the fourth, the fifth. We are not going to trade this one, while we're going to trade this one and this one. So let's see what happened. Okay, so in this very first case, actually Bitcoin was worth in 9,500 US dollar. Okay, and then we have closed here around 6,600. Okay, but here, as you can see, as I've just been saying, we are not actually opening a long for this case, so we're just closing this short trade. Now let's move on and let's analyze this one, this opportunity. Okay, so we see that both the two lines were actually moving above the upper threshold, and when we retrieve the sell short signal, actually Bitcoin was worth 9,500 US dollar. Then we close this position around here, so 5,300 US dollar. Okay, so in every case, actually, we are going to make a profit. Now, what is extremely important is that we should not trade this short movement, and the reason is because when we analyze the Magnus cycle, we see actually that here we have the beginning of a new cycle. Okay, so here actually is imagine that this is a Gauss curve, and actually we are inside the ascending phase of the Gauss curve. So since we are inside the ascending phase of the Gauss curve, we don't want to sell short this trade, while we want to be long for this trade, and the reason is because we are still the derivative of the Magnus cycle. If we analyze the orange, okay, line is still positive. Now, in terms of cyclicity, what we see actually, this very first movement was December 19, and we've closed. So this was the ascending phase, and then the descending phase. As you can see here, ascending phase 6,800 US dollar, and we started with the descending phase around 10,000 US dollar. Okay, so this is a full cycle. So from December till March. Here we have again from mid-March, almost end of March, till July. Here we have a small cycle, and then again we have actually again a new cycle. So this cycle is equal to this one, and it is equal to this one, while this cycle, the third one or the fourth one, if we start from here, actually is a minor cycle that we can see over here. So where we can project this minor cycle, actually, as you can see here, both the curves are oriented downwards. Okay, so in terms of relative strength, we might see some minor movement downwards, which again has been predicted several times by myself. I've been clearly stating that once hitting the 20,000 US dollar, we were going through a period of squeezing. Okay, so this is a healthy movement. We should not be worried about this kind of movement. And the excitement will come when we will see both the curves again crossing below the lower threshold to then cross above this threshold. So we will be seeing something like that actually over January 2021. So if we think that actually the beginning of the cycle has been detected over September, October, or October, when we see the derivative of the white curve being positive, and from here actually we've experienced the huge run up from 11,800 till 20,000 US dollars, so almost more than 8,000 US dollar of profit. Okay, so if we project these two lines, we might see, we might think that a new phase of the bull run up will be over January 2021, which means right now we might move horizontally, okay, or we might retest the lower band around 16,000 US dollar, with even some sort of reversal pinball to test even a lower path. But it's something that actually we don't know yet. We're just actually making a projection. But what the stochastic RSI is telling us is actually that we might see some sort of retrace. So we can again move till 15,700, where we see the lower band passing by. Okay, when we have experienced the movement downwards, we see that we have gone from the upper band till the lower band. So it happened once, it happened twice. Also here it did not happen, but it happened here, for example. So from the upper to the lower band. So actually, let's say that 15,700 US dollar is a possible target for a very short time, and actually that will be a good opportunity in order to get long. But now actually this about the minor cycles, okay? So we are inside the strong bull up trend, and now I will show you why we're inside the strong bull up trend. And the reason is because here we have my two proprietary indicators, okay, and as you can see here we are just testing the 20,000 US dollar. But most importantly, we see that both the two indicators are oriented positive, with the green curve crossing above the blue one, both of them oriented upwards, okay, and we are also above the zero line. As you can see here, actually the value is 28. For example, here we were below the zero line, which is actually an extremely negative signal. So here we are respecting all the conditions. Okay, this is a weekly chart. So we are first of all above the zero line, with the green curve and the blue curve both oriented upwards, and with the green curve above the blue one. Okay, so when that happened last time, we moved from 700 US dollar till 20,000. Let's say it closed our position around 14,000 US dollar. Okay, that was a huge gain. So what is actually happening right now is that we are inside a huge strong bullish uptrend, and also this other indicator, my proprietary indicator, which is actually created by using 4 different variables. Okay, even in this case we see that both of them are first of all above the zero line, with the with the green and the red curve both oriented upwards, and with the green curve above the red one. Okay, now let's analyze what happened in the past. When that happened, it was 2015. Again, same scenario here. Actually, there are two similar indicators, but they are not exactly the same, which is actually extremely positive if both of them are giving us the same signal, because as you can see here, the second indicator came long before, actually in July 2020, when the very first one was still horizontal and also not sure about the possible outcome. So for the medium long term trend, we are inside a huge bull trend, so let's not be actually worried about what is happening for the short term. So this indicator is set up for the very short term, but actually again we are projecting January as a very strong month, from where we should see again a very strong push, a very strong kick. Now let's move on, let's analyze Ripple. Even in this case, what we see is that actually the same stochastic RSI with the same kind of parameters is working pretty smoothly, and also for Ripple been moving in actually more horizontally, so less in a trend when compared with Bitcoin. Actually it's quite easier, or it's much more easier to detect cycles when compared with Bitcoin. So what is happening right now here? Okay, so as you can see here, we are again inside a very short-term trend, bearish movement, but again, and now we will see with my two property indicators where we are. It's just something actually very short. Okay, so here we have experienced the very actually the big kick in September 20, when we see then the stochastic RSI crossing above the lower threshold. It was October 20, and from here we have actually we skyrocket from 0.25 till 0.80. Okay, so in this case, the stochastic RSI with the changed parameters have worked in a crazy, incredible way. Okay, so also as you can see here, the Magnus cycles are telling us actually when we should be long, and as you can see here, now the white curve is getting is horizontal, but is actually getting a little bit downward, which is a negative signal. But I do believe actually it's a very healthy movement. We are going to retest 0.40 US dollar. Could be absolutely a normal movement because from 0.40 we are actually going to hit the lower envelope. Okay, so which again, even these envelopes have been set up in a different parameter, so they don't have the default setting, and if so 0.40 might be a great opportunity for us to keep buying or to re-enter, okay, with Ripple. Now let's